All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is a Found in Israel Bible Studies program, and as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the Lord's holy Sabbath day. Now, with that being said, I'm going to do a lesson, and it's entitled Modern Women, Wicked Women. Modern Women, Wicked Women. Now, before I even get started, I will differentiate between a modern woman and a traditional woman. Okay, so that being said, I'm not talking about the daughters of Zion. I'm not talking about the righteous daughters of Zion. I'm not talking about them. I will be talking about wicked women. I will be talking about modern women. So it's one of those things that, like, if the shoe fit, that's on you. I have to point out what the Bible wants me to point out, right? So if you are a righteous daughter of Zion, if you are a righteous traditional woman, then you're fine. Then none of this should bother you. None of this should trigger you. However, if you're a wicked, progressive, far left, modern woman, then you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. But it is what it is. Now, for me to finish setting the table, I know some of you guys. I'm not naive enough to think that the only channel you guys watch on YouTube is this one, okay? And I know that some of you guys may have ran across Manosphere Red Pill type content, right? And you see certain movements and things that are coming about. And I seen some of the same things. I see that. I see talking about, modern women and things like that. And I got to be honest, a lot of it disturbs me. I mean, I just got to be honest. A lot of it disturbs me to see, what has happened to us, what has happened to the family in particular, especially our Israelite family, okay, what they call the black family. And I got to tell you, it is not good. I mean, obviously, it's a part of social engineering. We had, the advent of feminism, which a lot of times it's kind of a buzzword on YouTube. You have to say effinism, right? So if I don't say it a lot, I might say effinism or womanism or something like that, right? So we have to use different terms because YouTube will ban you for using certain words. And that's another problem, right? So you can't say too many things or too many bad things about women, right? About females, right? And again, sisters. I'm not talking about righteous sisters. But you can't say anything about female. You say too much, you get banned. Okay, so that tells you where we are today. Okay, but you can bash men all day. You can say whatever you want. You can bash men. It's no big deal. What do you hear? Okay, now sisters, believe me, listen to some of the guys, like what they hear. What is it that they hear about them, right? Men are trash, men are dusty, men are busted, stuff like that. Now, I know these are worldly, wicked women, but that's what this lesson is about. It is about worldly, modern women. That's what it's about. So what I'm saying is that what do we hear? What do you hear out on the street, And number one, before I even get started, number one, the reason I'm talking about this, the reason I'm talking about what's going on in the reality should be self-evident. Okay, what's going on in our world? We have to navigate a wicked world. But the reason I'm talking about it is because for the gentlemen, I'm talking to you because it's all about mate selection. That's what it is. It's about protecting your seed and having the proper mate selection. Bottom line. So yes, we have to talk about modern women because you need to know how to navigate this world and not to even deal with wicked women. The scriptures even tell us that. Okay? And we're going to go over some of the scriptures. So the men out there, you need to know how to navigate. You need to know how to select. This is your seed. This is your line. This is your lineage that you have to consider. You cannot be like the other men who don't consider their seed, who don't protect their seed. You can't be like that. What do they say? They say a Pookie and a Ray Ray, right? You can't be a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That is not who a son of the Most High, a righteous man of Yah. That's not how we act. That's not how we perform. See, the women today will say that, hey, you know what? Men need to hold men accountable. We do, because you know what? We don't defend Pookie and Ray Ray. We don't defend them. As men, we tell you ladies not to deal with them. Don't lay down with them. So we're going to go ahead and get into this, and we're going to jump into some of these scriptures. And yes, I'm going to start over in Isaiah, but I'm going to tell you how this all began. It began in the mid-60s, okay? When government program and government handouts start coming up. And then they came right on the heels of womanism or feminism. It came right on the heels of that. And so now the Gentile woman, her problems, because she wanted equality with her man, she made her problems the problem of the Israelite woman or the black woman. And so they joined forces and stuff like that. Problem is, it went on for a few years, and most of the Gentile women went back to their husbands. Most of them, not all of them. Now, who is the number one poster child for womanism or feminism today? Sisters. The number one. So when the government handouts took over, it replaced the husbands. This is first wave, right? In the mid-60s. It replaced husbands. That's why you have, excuse me, things or songs like Proper Was a Rolling Stone, It was replaced because why? You couldn't get the handout. You couldn't get the money if the man was in the house. And it is most effective in the black community. Look at what happens. Who is the poster child for baby mamas today? Now, are black women the only single parents out there? No, they're not. But look at the term. Look at the term itself. If you are a black woman, you're a baby mama. If you're any other race, you're a single parent. Interesting. We're going to dive deeper into it. Let's first start over into Isaiah chapter 3. Let's do this. Like I said, it's going to be triggering for some, but for the righteous women, probably not, because they're going to say, well, that's not me. That's not what I did, right? So they won't be triggered. But for others, it is what it is. Isaiah 3, I'm going to start at 12. And 12 says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and we'll deal with that in another lesson. Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. And women rule over them. Gentlemen, when it comes to men of the other races, when you look at the Arabs, is that a matriarchy or a patriarchy? When you look at Mexicans, is that a matriarchy or patriarchy? When you look at the Gentiles, the white, the Europeans, is that a matriarchy or a patriarchy? Now, we know womanism is starting to take over, in Europe and the UK. It's just as big as over here in the West in America. But look at all the other races. Look at all the other countries and nations. They're patriarchal. Now look at our nation. Is it matriarchal or patriarchal? And if we're honest with ourselves, we know it's matriarchal. Shouldn't be, but it is. It's matriarchal. Because what? They gear everything towards the black woman. And she has the stronger voice than the black man. It's upside down. And women rule over them. See, we supposed to have an order. The Most High Yah, Yeshua HaMashiach, the husband, the wife, and the children. And women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Are we not off the path? Because our houses are upside down, right? The men are not in the homes. And everyone want to catastrophize all the, everything, the reason why, the men are not at home. Yeah, there's a couple of reasons, but everything is not it's not an extreme catastrophe. Oh man, they just left. They just don't want to be with their kids. Not true. That may be your anecdotal experience, but not true. All men want to be with their children and want to raise their seed. Is deeply embedded in us, in real men, alpha men, patriarchal men. That's how it is across the board. The exception? Pookie and Ray Ray. But you know who got caught in the crossfire? The good guys too. The good guys. The decent brothers, the righteous brothers, the hardworking brothers, and all of a sudden their life is just it's just in upheaval, right? But yeah, you're right, ladies. You're right. So these guys, they leave you, they pregnate you, But guess what? See, these women who don't have any culture, who don't have the Most High, who cares nothing about their salvation, who cares nothing about Torah, who don't think any measure beyond themselves. Those women, yeah, they had guys leave them. Yeah, they got 3, 4, 5 baby daddies. Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray. Let's look, because I don't want y'all to think that I don't have any scripture. So I'm just gonna keep. Let's read a little bit more. Okay. So I'm gonna drop down to 16 to 17. 16 says, "Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes," arrogant walk, I'm a boss chick. Okay, I'm a boss chick and all that. I don't want no man. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Sing it with me, right? That's what you have today. Again, this is the modern woman or the modern wicked woman. Period. That's what you have today. They listen to all the, if you like, they to the left, right? Who run the world? Girls. I don't want no scrubs. Go way back, go back in the day, and nothing going on but the rent. Got to have a JOB if you want to be with me, stuff like that, right? Hypergamous nature and stuff like that, Got to be 6 feet tall. Got to have 6-figure income. Got to look at what's out there in modern dating, fellas, gentlemen. If you're listening, sound off down below. Say something. Just so if a modern woman sees, I'm not talking about you righteous daughters. I'm not talking about you guys. You guys are fine. But if a modern woman sees this, happen to stumble upon a lesson or whatever, let them know. Let them know this is the things that you hear. This is what plays, that is thrown in our face constantly. This is what plays in our head all the time as men. If you ask me, well, what are the narratives? What are the negative narratives that you hear about men? Right? Now this lesson is about, protecting your seed, about your legacy, about mate selection, which is why I'm talking about it in the first place. So it is letting the fellas know, letting the brothers know, and putting the wicked women on notice. Okay? Because I don't want the brothers to fall for the schemes, right? I don't want you to fall for the schemes. 17, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Okay, you got our women. Our women are trying to look like every other woman because what they have naturally is falling apart. First of all, the daughters of Zion, oof, absolutely gorgeous. I will say it. I think that our sisters are top 3 most beautiful women on the planet. Period. I think they're some of the most beautiful women on the planet. Now, they're not all in America. I'm not saying they're not necessarily American. Because remember, Israel was scattered throughout the world. Because there's Israel, there's Afro-Colombian, Afro-Brazilian, Afro-Mexican. You have the Caribbean. You still have some of us in Africa. You have some over in Europe, although I'm not necessarily, but you got some in Europe. You even got some in the East. You have some in Asia. Some of them are there. I've seen some pictures. So, as far as women with hue, some that are melanated that come from Ham. But the daughters that come from the line of Shem, absolutely just beautiful. They're not all in America. And what's happening when I say that they're losing some of this beauty is what? The hair, right? Men have been saying forever, rock your natural. We like your natural hair. The modern black woman, modern wicked woman, no. She's going to put stuff in it. She's going to over process it with chemicals, put weaves and wigs and all kinds of stuff in it or whatever. Never wants to wear natural because the natural is probably not any good, but don't want to do that. That's why he's gonna have a scab in their head. What they want to go get BBLs. They want to bleach skins and wear contacts and dye their hair blonde and all everything. They want to do everything except wear their natural hair and have their natural form. 3 layers of makeup. I mean, have you guys seen some of these makeup transformations and stuff? It's absolute sorcery. It's absolute sorcery. It's just witchcraft. I mean, 2 completely different people. You watch some of these videos. Have you guys seen some of these videos? Put a 100 down there in the comment. It's crazy. Let's read 24. 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, what? Baldness, and instead of a stomach or a girding, a sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. See, the daughter of Zion, see the wicked ones, okay? I'm talking about the wicked ones. He's got a recompense for her. He's got a recompense. And see, what's happening is that men are starting to go their own way, including Hebrews. Because they're trying to pick the right woman. They're trying to look at breeding stock, if you will. They're starting to be a little bit more selective. They're starting to have a little bit more discipline of themselves. They want to be a little bit more deliberate in whom they lay with to start a family. See, everybody wants to reduce it to sex and everything, and yeah, such is not the case. It's not just that. At some point in a man's life, he starts thinking about his legacy. He starts thinking about his legacy. You and I both know there's some women out there who are moms, who are birthers. I don't even want to sully the title of mother, right? Who are birthers out there who really shouldn't be, right? They're not, there's a whole lot of, is a lot of regret out there. There's a lot of regret. Fellas, have some discipline, protect your seed. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to Proverbs. And I want you guys to keep your marker in Proverbs because we're going to be in and out of Proverbs a lot, just so you guys know. Okay? So we're going to go to Proverbs. Let's go over here to Proverbs, and we're going to start at chapter 9. Okay? So Proverbs 9, and I'm going to start at 13, actually. 9 and 13. It says what? A foolish woman is clamorous. Okay? Violent, right? Clamorous. A foolish woman is clamorous. We are at 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing, right? And see, this right here, this is like loud, obnoxious woman who you really can't get a word in edgewise. Have you seen interviews, when it's kind of trying to have a conversation, you have this loud, clamorous woman. She's simple. She really doesn't know anything. She doesn't have any facts, no data, no nothing. She has no information. It's just her feelings, and she's just the loudest one. You want to marry that? You want to marry that? If you married to that, I'm sorry, brother, but we got to point it out. And if we're dealing with a daughter of Zion, I want you to listen. I want you to listen because I want you to change. I want you to start going the way, walking the path. That's what I want you to do. So we're going to go over this, and if there are a few daughters of Zion, they have this modern woman spirit within them, let this be the beginning of you getting that out. Because even though I'm addressing modern wicked women, womanism, a gynocentric, mindset, I don't mind talking to our sisters who are in the truth. I don't mind talking to them because there's hope for them. These wicked ones, there's no hope. I'm telling the brothers, avoid them. Avoid them. Period. Because guys, you only have two options. You got two options. You find a woman from a community, or you find a woman and convert her. That's it. Now the community can be a little bit hard if you're not connected to a community, which is why I was promoting community. But a lot of people are just really not into it. They're not ready. Okay, great. Hey, we're all on our own. But I'll give you the information. I'll give you the information. But that's your two options, brothers. Community or conversion. Okay? Now, hopefully you find someone, a single sister, a single daughter of Zion, a single sister who, who is in the truth. But, sometimes that can be an issue. Sometimes it's better to just start from scratch, start from conversion, because you don't want you battling doctrines and going back and forth. A riotous, clamorous woman. You don't want that. You don't want that headache. It shortens your life. You lose hair, you go gray, it shortens your life, it vexes you, you can't wait to die if you match up with the wrong woman. You get the wrong butter muffin if you want to, and it's going to be a miserable, miserable life for you if you're a righteous brother. Now, hey, if you're a wicked brother, then you deserve the wicked woman. Hey, you guys go ahead and be married, okay? Okay, that's 13. We're 9 as 13. We're going to read all the way to 18. For she sitteth at the door of her house, and on the seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their way. A woman sitting there, she just, she always got something to say. She gossipers, she's rumor, she's doing all that. She's busybody in the bad sense, right? She's not busy taking care of her home. She's in everybody else's business and looking and watching, sitting on the porch, looking, watching, stuff like that, right? Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither, and as for him that wandered understanding, she say unto them. So the guy who, okay, now this woman is loose, right? And you have a guy who, he just wants some attention because there's a big epidemic of men who are lonely, right? There's men who are between 18 and 30. There's a stat out, but men between 18 and 30, no relationship at all. Okay, no set in the past year, nothing, right? Again, I'm not supporting fornication. Just listen to the stats, guys. Not everyone is of faith, okay? So I'm not promoting. I'm just telling you what's going on. Because many of us, remember, we were in the world, we're coming out of the world, okay? Doesn't change the stats. Does not change the data, okay? 17. She said unto him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. Okay, so let's keep this on the down low, right? But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. She gonna get you killed, man. Leave these wicked women alone. Leave these modern women alone. I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you, that little 15 minutes. No, it is not worth it. Leave these wicked women alone. Leave these modern women alone. Don't deal with them. Just don't. Just do not deal with them, okay? You meet a woman, actually very well-spoken, intelligent brother. He said something. He said, you dealing with a woman, you be straight up, right? You say, hey, look, I'm a traditional man and I have traditional standards for myself. And a woman that I are going to be dating, or courting, and eventually married will also be traditional. She will uphold to traditional views. She will be okay with the traditional roles. She'll be feminine, friendly, she'll be caring, nurturing. And then you wait and see how she responds to that. Okay? So if any of that have her running for the hills, or you have a lot of pushback, you leave. It's over. You stop. You say where you are. You set your standards, brother. Set your standards and stick to it. It cannot be just about her looks. It cannot be. Okay? Don't just be looking at her hardware. You need to check the software too. Because everything that a man wants about a woman, one thing is external, and that is her looks. Everything else is internal. Everything else is internal, brothers. You better check that internal. You want that? You want the feminine, you want the friendly, you want the nurturing, the caring, the loyal, the respectful. All that's software. That's the internal software. Too many brothers are worried about the hardware and not giving a whole lot about the software. Let's keep going. We're in Proverbs. We can go to 6. And when we get to 6, I'm going to start at 24 and 6. 24 says, to keep thee from an evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. I'm going to tell you right now, brother, you see this? You get taken by the hardware. You get taken by the outer exterior or whatever. And I'm not talking about the women, but you got a dating scales on the look, stuff like 1 to 10, right? Everybody wants a 10. But what if inside the software, that's a hardware. They want the hardware 10. They want the outside 10. But what if inside is a 2 or a 1? And I'll tell you right now, sisters, not being mean, but a guy will take a 5, okay, which is average. That's average, okay? We'll take a 5 in the looks, but she's a 9 or 10 in the software on the internal. She's nurturing. She's feminine. She enjoys her role. She doesn't get in his role as a man. Let him provide and protect and parent. She enjoys her role. A guy take a 5. A guy will take a 5. See, here's the difference. Let me help the ladies out just for a second. The difference is this. Okay? Again, not talking about fornication or nothing like that, but let me just tell you what's going on out in the world, right? Just men, the way men are wired. What a man will sleep with is different than what he will marry. See, that software, if it's down 2, 3, 4, really, really low on the software, she's not on. A man will sleep with her, but he won't marry her. He won't. A real man, a discerning man, a righteous man, a man who knows what he wants, a man who's not desperate when he's ready to start a family. It comes down to obtaining a man and retaining a man. Your hardware can obtain a man. Your software is what keeps him. Let's keep going, brothers and sisters. Let's keep going. 26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. Take all your money. And the adulterers will hunt for the precious life. I'm going to tell you right now, see, that right there, we're talking about hypergamy, right? Women date up. That's all it means, just tend to date up, right? Date above their station or whatever, right? So men, this is why I say you want to be a high value Hebrew, okay? You want to be a man. Pursue your purpose. You keep going after God. For one, serve the Most High Yah. Serve the Most High Yah, period. Okay? That's 1. 2, you pursue your purpose. That's how you increase your value. Pursue your purpose. Go for what he wants you to go for, and make something out of you. We're supposed to make something out of ourselves. They have professions here in the Bible, carpenters and tent makers and blacksmiths and all those, right? So they have professions. So there's nothing wrong with having a profession, right? So you have a profession, you do it. Do it. Get it done. Grind. Work. Get it done. Make something of yourself. Increase your value. Make something of yourself. Be a man. And see, if you pursue your purpose, you won't run out of options of what type of wife you want. But if you chase women, you'll run out of money. If you pursue your purpose, mean you grab money. I'm not talking about, you love money, and I don't want to hear the money is the root of all evil. We can break down the Bible, okay? We can do that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a man establishing himself, right? Pursuing his purpose. And accumulating as much assets as he possibly can. Why? Because a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So you have to acquire assets. And the only way you're going to do that is pursue your purpose to increase your value and protect your seed. So the worldly expression is, if you pursue money, you won't run out of women. Pursue women, you might run out of money. I hope you guys understand that. Okay? And it just said this, right? Because right here, she's hypergamous. In 26, it says, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. She just want a better life. She will monkey branch over to somebody else if she thinks she can come up and go higher. If she thinks she can do better than you. See why you have to increase your value? Why you have to serve the Most High, pursue your purpose, increase your value. And what this lesson is about, protect your seed. Because you need to stay away from these wicked women. 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go on hot coals and feet not be burned? So he that goeth in to his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. Whoever so touches her shall not be innocent. Okay, so I'm going to drop to 32. And whosoever committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding, and he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. He that doeth it destroys his own soul. It's not worth it, brothers and sisters. It's not. It's not worth it. Do not go with some adulteress. Don't mess with another man's wife. Let me just be clear about that, okay? Adultery, all right? You look at the definition. A woman who breaks wedlock. If a woman is married, you walk away, and if you have to, you run. If a woman is married, you walk away, and if you have to, you run. You be Joseph and you run. You get out of there. Don't deal with these modern wicked women who thinks, oh, this is a good Hebrew man. He can teach me. He can show me or whatever. Man I got is no good. He don't know anything. Don't go there. Don't deal with it. They're married, off limits. It's over. Nothing to talk about. Period. Okay? Nothing to talk about. Don't be one of these butter muffins and miss out on the kingdom because someone batted their eyes, put on the right combination of layers of makeup, wore something form-fitting, and get you caught up. Don't try to help her figure out how to get out of her marriage. None of that. You walk away. Period. Because these wicked women are out there. You walk away. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 7, and I'm going to start at verse 11. Okay. And we go all the way to 27, but we're going to start at 11. 11 is, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abides not in her own house. I'm independent. I do what I want. You don't run me. You don't do that. These modern women, you talking about, okay, when a man says what kind of woman he wants, basically it's traditional, right? Submissive, supportive, cooperative, things like that. Or what? You just want a slave. I ain't doing that. And they loud and boy, run away. Notice I'm not saying you fight them, you argue them. Let them be. Let them be. You guys, hey, you guys know, KS, and he's in the ground now, but he just said, hey, buy a dog, die alone. He just said, buy a dog, die alone, right? I mean, that's the option. You want to be wicked. You don't want to come under subjection. You don't want to come under any leadership. You don't want to listen to, the Most High. You don't want to come out of the world. You don't want to do that. Hey, you're on your own. You strong. You're independent. You don't need nobody. Okay, go on. So we're going to go ahead and take a look real quick, guys. 12. Now is she without, outside. Now in the streets, she belongs. You guys know the expression, right? And lieth in wait at every corner. She's trying to find somebody. So she caught him and she kissed him. And with an impudent, with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me this day. Have I paid my vows? Therefore came I forth to meet thee. So that's why I came out. Hey, I'm good. I'm alone. That's why I came over here with you, right? So he says what? diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. Oh, I've been looking for you. I've been waiting for you. Okay, what? Slide in the DMs kind of thing, right? That's kind of thing that's done today. Okay. It says, I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry and carved wood with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my beds with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Okay, so she's looking good and she's smelling good and got the place decked out, right? A den of love, right? Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning, and let us solace ourselves with love, right? Just let's go have a good time, right? For the good man is not at home. See, this is the good guy. He is on a long journey, okay? Because my husband, he's gone. He's out. He's out. He's away on business. He's taking care of his business. Now this is a good guy. This is a good guy. This is how wicked women wreck their homes. Okay? This is how wicked women wreck their home. Okay? For the good man is not at home. He's gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed, right? He's going to come home in a certain amount of days, certain number of days. So we got time. We ain't got to worry about it. We're not going to even get caught, right? With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him, right? She just enticed him. It was just too enticing. He couldn't contain himself. She said all the right words. Okay? She forced, 22. He goeth after her straightway as an ox goeth to the slaughter. Hello? Or as a fool to correction of the stocks. Okay, he's about to get punished. Till the dark strike through his liver as a bird hasten to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Yeah, he don't know this is about to kill him. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thy heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. For she has cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. It just leads to destruction, man. Don't worry, I'm gonna read stuff that, what good women do. We're gonna have a compare and contrast. I want to have the juxtaposition between a wicked woman and a righteous woman. I want you to have that. I want you to be able to see that, and we're about to get into that shortly. We're about to get in that shortly. I'm gonna get one more over here in Proverbs, and then we're gonna go elsewhere. Okay, we're gonna go over to the Apocrypha here in a second, but we're gonna just read 14:1. Proverbs 14:1 says, every woman builded her house, but the foolish plucked it down with her bare hands. Like this woman, her good husband is away taking care of business, okay, paying the bills, doing what he has to do, but she's alone, she's bored. They say men cheat by opportunity. Okay, and when all women need is just a reason. That's it. Just a reason. Her man's away. She's unhappy about something or whatever, or her feelings might change or anything like that. Tear down her house. Oh, okay. Remember, see the advent of no fault divorce, right? I know the narrative is, it's all the guy's fault. They want to get women pregnant and leave them and not be responsible and all that. We know the narrative. Yeah, we know the narrative. But did you know that since it's over 50% divorce is what? Knocking on the door to 60%, right? It's like 54%. Check the stats, okay? It's 50 or above, right? Of marriages end in divorce, okay? You want to know the percentage of men, of women filing the divorce? 75 to 80% of women filing the divorce. And I know, watch out, gentlemen, for those people who are going to make it a catastrophe. They're going to make it one extreme, right? Right? The argument is going to be extreme. Oh, because they're abusive or something. Okay? Check that stat. Not very high. Negligible. Okay? That they divorced because of that, right? That they divorced because of an abuse. Very, very low. You check that one. The truth is, they just changed their mind. The truth is, the good man was away for a while. The truth is, limerence are gone. It's an emotional thing. That's why the Most High didn't necessarily put the power of divorce in the hands of the woman. Again, I know that a lesson like this will trigger some. But I'm not going to change what is presented in front of us. With that, let's read a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and look at Sirach. Let's see here. Let me look at it here just so I will look at it right here. We're going to look at some more scriptures and just get into what we need to get into. Okay, so we're going to look at, it's Sirach or Ecclesiastic. So turn with me, go over to the Apocrypha. Okay, so we got Sirach chapter 25. And I'm going to I'll start at 1 and we'll jump around a little bit. Okay, so. Okay, all right. So, chapter 25. So I'm gonna start at 1. Let's see. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, and a man and his wife that agree together. That's what's beautiful to him, right? A man and his wife that agree together. Now let's drop to 3. If thou hast gathered nothing in thy youth, how canst thou find anything in thy own age? If you haven't put together, again, gentlemen, pursue your purpose. Start stacking your chips. Get out of debt, start stacking your chips, make something of yourself. It's been said in the secular world, it's been said that a woman is born with her value, right? And it peaks out at 18, 25, right? Her value, she was born with her innate value, right? That's why biblically, what? Men paid for virgins. They paid for it. Now, show me in the Bible where a male virgin was paid for. Okay, so the women, they're born with their value. That's what I'm pointing. That's what I'm pointing out. They're born with their value. Peaks out 18, 25. Most fertile years. She's her most beautiful and her most fertile, right? Then of course after 30, those eggs start dropping like 70%. By the time they're 35, geriatric pregnancy, right? They got like 3 eggs left. All right, I'm kidding, but you get my point, right? So, but you gentlemen. We have to build. We have to make something of ourselves. We have to create our value. We have to be men. We have to work. We have to make something of ourselves. Let's see here. That's why he's saying, what are you going to get? How can thou find anything in there? You ain't going to have nothing when you get old. You don't start out using your youth to build something for when you're old. Build something. A wise man, he leaves an inheritance for his children's children. In other words, your grandchildren that far out. We got work to do, gentlemen. We got work to do. Verse 4. Oh, how comely a thing is judgment for gray hairs and for ancient men to know counsel. Get some wisdom. And how comely is wisdom of old men and understanding and counsel and counsel to men of honor. Okay. And let's see here in 10 verse 6. Much experience is the crown of the old man, and the fear of God is their glory. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart, to be happy in the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy of his children. Amen. See, a man that has joy of his children. We don't want to leave them. We love them. And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding, and that has not slipped with his tongue, and that has not served a man more unworthy than him. Look at all the things that he's talking about. That dwelleth with a wife of understanding. Hallelujah. Okay. Well is him that has found prudence, and he that speaketh in the ears of them that will hear. Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom, yet is there none above him that feareth the Lord. Now we're going to drop down to 16. 16 says, I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. Fellas, stay away from these wicked women. You better have a vetting process. You should have a vetting process to make sure. Okay, I'll talk about that in just a second. Okay. 17. The wickedness of a woman changes her face and darketh her countenance like sackcloth. Yeah. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth, it shall sigh bitterly. Yeah. That's why. So sisters, when your husband, your patriarch, the head of the house, the head of you, this is why he wants you to do certain things, act a certain way, say certain things, because you represent his household, you represent his bloodline. And if you embarrass him, because remember in Proverbs 31, she makes his name known at the gate, means she says good things. She doesn't bash her husband. I don't want no man. I don't need no man. I don't do it. I can do it all by myself. Sing it with me, right? You don't have that. You don't have that. She does good things. That's why over here, he was sigh bitterly when people find out, look at what so-and-so's wife is doing. You see? That's why sisters, righteous sisters, check with your husband. Make sure you represent him well. That is your job. Your job to bring up his seed and represent his name to help extend his bloodline, extend his name, or raise up or build his household. A foolish woman tears down her household with her own hands. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Because these wicked women has got to go. It's because of all these wicked women. And men are saying, I'm out. I'm not dealing with these women. That's why you got certain movements out there. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. That's how you get an Isaiah 4:1. That's how you get that. That's how that comes about. When it's too late, when winter is here, that's when they want to try to shape up and be like, oh, I need a man to take care of take away my reproach. Because men are going to be rare, not just because of the war, just because, men are going to be dead and all that. Not just because of that, but some men are going to be like, you know what? I'm not dealing with some wicked woman. I'm not dealing with her. So they won't be able to find a good man. They won't be able to find a righteous man, right? I mean, yeah, it's all other things that Isaiah is talking about, all other things in the prophecy and all that. All that is true. I'm not taking that away. But the other rare is going to be because men is going to be like, nah, I'm good. See, right now they're in a space where, women are validated. Men keep giving them all kinds of attention, right? And validating them stuff. We're in that social media age. We're in a dating app age. And, they're used to their mailbox and their Instagrams and all this stuff, having hundreds of DMs. Hundreds of, hey, queen. Hundreds of, hey, beautiful. Constant validation. That's why when they're on social media, a lot of times they are scantily clad. Are you guys starting to get it? How it's starting to really take form? Are you starting to get it? Let's look at it a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna go 25. Oh, this is 20, verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Okay, that clamorous woman again, right? A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Okay, a woman, because it just wears you down. Just wears you down. Why do you think women outlive men? Okay, why do you think that? Okay, just wears you down. A wicked woman abated the courage, make it a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands and feeble knees. And men are just breaking down. I know. Nobody cares about men's issues. I get it. I know. But if you're in the space and you hear what men have to go through, you hear. Have you been to family court? Have you seen divorce court? Have you been there, like the real one, not like TV where it's all sanitized? Have you seen it? Have you seen men breaking down in tears? Have you seen them have to go to jail because of child support? Have you seen that children have been weaponized against them where now they can't see their children? They got to fight for their children. I've even seen women who would say, well, if you really love your children, you fight. Why would you have to fight? They're his children. Why would you have to fight? It should be okay. No problem. There's nothing to negotiate. But men are starting to check out. You guys are going to start seeing here in the next few years, next 8 years, 2030, the highest epidemic of single women. And the black woman, I'm not talking about the righteous daughters of the Most High, but the black woman is going to get it worse. Highest evicted, least married. What is the statistic? 1 in 4 sisters will get married. 1 in 4. The next is the Gentile white woman at 56%. Half the time, everybody else get married 70, 80% of the time. All the other races of women get married 70, 80% of the time. The one at the bottom is our sisters. Well, I say that term loosely. Because some of these daughters of Zion, I'm sorry, you righteous, beautiful, Yah-fearing sisters out there, you guys are becoming a needle in a haystack. Over here in the West, you guys are becoming a needle in a haystack. Don't get me wrong, there's some other sisters overseas and other places or whatever who did not grow up in this gynocracy, didn't grow up in this system where womanism persists. But you guys are becoming a needle in the haystack. I'm sorry. It's getting bad out there. It's getting really, really bad. All right. 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Girl trip? Yeah. Not here. Not in my house. Nope. Sorry, not here. You go to girl trip, we're no longer married. That simple. You go a girl trip with wicked modern women or whatever, you want to just go have fun and do all your... Hey, I'm not the screaming and hollering and shouting and getting in your... Nope. You got an option. You can stay here and continue to be my wife. I continue to be your husband. Or you can go have a girl trip, modern girl trip, and come back and you're not my wife. Let's read it again. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. And that tends to follow Torah right there. So with that, let's go to 1 Corinthians. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to the Brit Hadashah. Let's go to the Renewed Covenant. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Yes, I know this is harsh. I know that it triggers some, but I cannot teach according to feelings. I can't do that because I don't have to answer to man. I don't have to answer to anyone. I have to answer to the Most High, and he's going to say, you read it the way it's written. You give them understanding, whether they hear or forbear. So I got to do what I got to do. 6 and 16. 16 says, what? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh, right? So again, fellas, don't be laying with these, don't be laying with these wicked women. Don't do it. Just don't do it. The wicked, loose women, don't do it. Okay, you got one. If a woman, like I said before, if a woman's married, it's over. It's done. Walk away. Do a Joseph. Okay, and run. Get out of there. Do not mess with a married woman. Don't do it. Period. Okay, don't do it. Next, you need to have a vetting process, right? Here's a loose one for you. You need to have, okay, there's 4 steps, okay? Anybody want to write them down or whatever, then fine. If you don't, that's fine. Hey, you're on your own. But you want to have 4 steps in this vetting process. Now, is it official? Is it biblical? Is it, nope, it's just something I put it together. It's what I used, okay? It's 4 steps. Step 1, the discovery phase. Step 2, the courting phase or dating phase. Step 3, betrothal. Step 4, consummation. You've probably heard me say it in some other videos. Now, step 1, discovery. That is just getting to know you. That's just getting us, just see what the girl is all about. See what the woman is all about. That's when you when you tell the woman exactly what you expect. You say, hey, I am a traditional man. I have traditional values. I have traditional standards for myself. And a woman that I would court and marry, she would also be traditional. She would also adhere with the normal or traditional gender roles. Okay? I'd be the husband, the head, the provider, the protector. She would be my helpmeet. She would be the one who she cooks, she cleans, she nurtures the children, she nurtures me. And she likes those roles. And then you go from there. That's discovery, right? She get past that, you're in discovery. There's no time limit or time frame on it or whatever, but you have your discovery phase. Step 2, courting. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're courting her. You're going out. You're setting expectations. You kind of, you date. You date. Y'all should have some shared experiences and things like that, right? Okay. Step 3, betrothal. You're engaged. However long that lasts, that's up to you. Okay. And step 4, consummation. You seal the deal. You're married. Okay. Now remember, if you're engaged, it's kind of like married too, because like Joseph and Mary, they were just engaged and they were still considered married, right? They were just waiting on the consummation, right? So again, then you consummate it, you seal the deal, make it official. There you go. Okay. So you're good to go in that. Have some kind of standards. And I'm saying this, I'm putting this out there because I want to educate the brothers. I want us to raise our standards. I want us to be better men. I want us to pick better so that we have better representation in Israel. That's why. Brother Robert, why are you talking about this? Come on, Moray. What this is just talking about, secular type stuff, because we need to be better. We need to have a better image. We need to represent better. We have to do better. And it's not for us to force secular sisters to fall in line. Guess what? If you become a man, you become a real man, and you don't validate for them or what they would say. You don't simp. You don't validate stuff like. Talking about wicked women. If you don't do that, you don't placate them. You don't date them. You don't do none of that. They'll fall in line. When nobody's paying attention, when all the righteous guys or the good guys or the high value guys or the high value Hebrew or the high value men or the good righteous Yah-fearing guys who have structure in their life, they have strength of character, when those guys, the good ones, when they are not paying them any attention, then they'll fall in line. Most of them, it'll be too late. But then they'll fall in line. You ain't got to fight them. You ain't got to yell. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to argue with them. You ain't got to do anything. All you got to do is do you. Have a vetting process. Set your standards and stick to them. Because we need a better class of men. We need a better class of Hebrew. Just read 26. We just did, 1 Corinthians. Let's go back to Proverbs. Let's go back to Proverbs. Right now we're going to go to 21 in Proverbs. 21 in Proverbs. 21 in Proverbs. 21 and 9. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Let that marinate. But in case you didn't get it, let's look at it in verse 19. It's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. Does that not sound like modern women today? That's modern women today. Remember, in the beginning of the lesson, I juxtaposed traditional women with modern women. Okay? Which one are you? For the sisters that are watching. And I say that these modern women are the evil, wicked women. Okay. One of the main thing that make a woman strange, stay away from strange women and all that, evil women and stuff like that, is because they are away from the tradition of your elders. They're away from the culture. They're away from what is right. They're off the path of righteousness. They're out in the world. They do their own thing. They have that mantra. They have their own theme song. Sing it with me. I don't want no man. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Right? They have that's their whole swan song. They have all the Cardi B's and Meg Thee Stallions and all these other mantras that they don't need. They're strong and independent, and they're getting exactly what they're asking for. So, brothers, you don't deal with them. Righteous sisters, don't be like them. Don't listen to them. Dark, dark days are coming for them. Dark, dark days, cold, winterous days are coming. Pet sales and boxes of wine sales are going up. They are going to go up. Like I said in 19, it is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman. You guys heard of MGTOW, right? I'm not on MGTOW. Men going their own way. I'm not on that because they don't have nothing to do with women at all. Okay, but you see why it's if your only option is an evil, angry, contentious woman, a brawling woman, a heart, you don't need it. Be by yourself. It's better that way, gentlemen. It's better. Be celibate. Okay? Don't deal with them. Be celibate. If that's all you got to deal with, or get a passport. Go somewhere where they're more traditional, where they don't have this Western mindset. When they don't have that, where they're going to be more traditional, do that. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm not going to get into it. But you get away from these aggressive women. Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27. I'm going to read 15 here. A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. They get on your nerves, 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 they get on your nerves. You see how annoying that is? And they keep doing it. How do you think they wore down Solomon? A lot of people they want to say, oh, Solomon, he just married strange wives and all this other. Okay. Yeah, but when he was younger, he was strong. He stayed in his masculine frame. He was strong. But guess when they got him? When he had these young strange wives, and youth is not the problem, but the strange was these young strange wives constantly dripping. Build a high place for my God. I want a high place for my God. He let one go, then you got to do another one. Okay? Oh, you let her, but sweetie, you let her build a high place for her God. What about my God? Can I have one? And he had to build another one and another one and another, and all that happened in his old age. Got worn down. And this is written in Proverbs. This is written from the man of wisdom himself. Might be why he wrote it. Let's go. I hope somebody's getting it. That's 27. I'm going to drop back to 25. 25, and we're going to read 24. Let's see here. Here we go. This one says right here, it says, it is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. It doesn't... Sorry. This is what it is with a brawl. This is how it is. This is explaining what modern women look like. Fellas, the reason why you're having so much trouble is because you don't have... One, you didn't have a mating process. You didn't select, okay? You didn't do a proper vetting process, okay? You have to have a proper vetting process. And the pool is not that good out there. It's not that good, fellas. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you. The good women that are wife material, yeah, that's going to be hard, brother. That's going to be hard. It's better to be alone. In some cases, it's better to be alone. Or you got to go somewhere else. Proverbs 30 and 20, and then we're going to finish up in the Apocrypha again. Proverbs 30 and 20. I'm going to start wrapping this up. 30 and 20. 30 and verse 20 says this. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. Like she can do, like, I see some videos. It's bad. These women just confessing their infidelity, just confessing these lewd acts, and like nothing ever happened. No big deal. See, the thing is this: womanism has tricked most women into thinking they can be all liberal, women's liberation, and they can be sexually free, and they think that they're going to have the same outcome as a man. They were lied to. They were deceived. Because let me tell you, men, as far as wives, they prize your purity. Remember what I said earlier, that women were bought for their virginity. They paid a bride price and dowries, all that. You guys know. Virgins got bought because your purity, and it's still true today. Men don't like high body counts on women. It does not matter what womanism has said. It doesn't matter. It's not cool. It does not work the same. Oh, you can have the same opportunity. You can't have the same outcome. It's that simple. You cannot have the same outcome. Let's go on over to our last place. We're going to end in the Apocrypha, okay? So with that, we're going to go to chapter 26 of Sirach. Chapter 26. And I'm going to start at verse 1, okay? Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, okay? This is same name, right? Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Chapter 26, I'm starting at verse 1. Blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. Okay? That longer life when you have a virtuous wife, because she's a helpmeet and she heals you, she comforts you, she's there, she builds you up. You got to go out there, slay the dragons, and you come back and your woman recharges you. At least a virtuous one would, right? A virtuous woman rejoices her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace, in peace, in peace, in peace. Ladies, can you bring a man peace? This is a quality that men will pay for. Peace. Period. This is the kind of stuff, when I tell you, a lot of times they spend a lot of time on that hardware, right? They spend a lot of time trying to be 8, 9s, and 10s, okay? Okay, when a bunch of 49ers is 4s thinking that they're 9s. But they spend a whole lot of time on that hardware, and a man will go down a couple of points in the looks if you bring him peace, if you're nurturing, if you're caring, if you're kind. Instead of what the Bible said, quarrelsome, brawling, contentious. Is anybody hearing what I'm saying? Am I coming through with anybody? Okay, 100 down there. Hallelujah. Something. If something is coming through. Because my goal is to build strong families, have a better look. We need better representation. And our men and our women and our families, we need better representation because we're supposed to be representing the Most High Yah. And the strongest foundation is the family. So I want gentlemen. I'm starting with men. This is why I'm talking to men. I'm starting with men because it starts with us. We're the leaders, we're the head, right? So this is the type of information we need to know. Verse 3. A good wife is a good portion which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Hallelujah. That's for us men. Verse 4. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he had a good heart towards the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. Absolutely. Where I got money, rich or poor, rejoice in the Lord. Okay. Rejoice in the Lord because you're going to be all right. We're going to drop down to 6. Verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman. Very competitive for no reason. Very, very competitive. Don't have to be. Let's read that again in verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all. That's how the women are sometimes. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro, and he that hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. You're gonna get stung. Okay, you cannot deal with the. All right. 8. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. See, some of them do not care. Sound like an independent modern woman, right? I'm a boss chick. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Yeah, in her haughty, see, the way she looks. Why do you think the brothers want something modest? Why do you think the righteous brothers want something modest? Why do you think cover it up? You know what? Why do you think we want? Okay, verse 10. If thy daughters be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. She got too much freedom, right? Because a man's job is to protect the virtue of his daughter, to protect her purity, even protect her from herself. Even if we have to protect her from herself. Men, are you with me? Verse 11, watch over the impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee, right? Don't be surprised if she try to break forth against you, brothers and sisters. Don't be surprised. She will open up her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quivers against every arrow. Meaning, okay, so as if a woman gets loose, she'll open her quiver with every arrow. You guys know what that means. We have to, our job is to protect the purity, protect their chastity. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here. That's what it's about. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband. She delights her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones, make him healthier. He's happy when a wife, when she's virtuous and she's graceful, she brings honor. Ladies, I'm trying to tell you what makes the Most High happy. He brings you honor because you're carrying yourself as a proper wife. Chaste, modest, nurturing, uplifting, and inspirational towards your husband. You bring him peace. You are his peace. When he has to go out and work, harsh, cruel world. When he's doing whatever it is that he's doing. Okay, and I have to say it that way because some of you guys are like, well, my husband works at a desk, whatever. But he's got to go over there, slay the dragons, come home, keep the roof over your head, keep the lights on, keep clothes on your back, keep food in your stomach, and pay all these other bills. And all he wants is a little bit of comfort. Fellas, you have got to find the right woman. Have a vetting process or suffer the consequences. Every woman you see is not righteous. It's gonna be slim pickings. They're there. They're out there, but it's gonna be slim pickings, brothers. And do not Do not just keep throwing around this, hey queen, hey beautiful, and all. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Besides that, guys, I've asked women straight up, like in groups and stuff. And I asked them that question, like, how do they feel? How do you feel about, someone, you really don't know. They're saying that and they, do it in your, inbox, or they say it and all. I mean, how do you feel? Most of the righteous women, they're like, it's kind of weird. I don't really know them and, all that other stuff. Most of them, their attitude is not, you call me a queen. It's overused anyway. It's overused anyway, guys. So stop it, please. Just stop. We're going to drop, but where are we? 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. She is so awesome. A shamefaced, faithful woman is a double grace. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? We're going to drop down to verse 22 if you have your apocrypha. And a harlot shall be accounted as spit, like harlot, right? A harlot, okay? So these hot girl summers, all of them, they're going to be counted as spittle. Not my words, right? Not my words, okay? It said, a harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Let me read that. Let me read that one more time. A harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Let me turn these glasses up to full strength, man. Let me just go ahead and turn these up full power real quick. Verse 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to the wicked man. Pookie, Ray, Keisha, and Shaniqua, y'all stay together. Because guess what? They're already together. Statistics already show that, 51% of men, over 50, it's between 51 and 54. 51 and 54% of men are single. Black men are single and childless, no children. 30% of black men are married. Okay, so 51 and 30 is 81. That's 19%. That fits the rest of that. 19% of the men are impregnating 80% of the women. The women have multiple baby daddies and the men have multiple baby mamas. This is Pookie, Ray, Shaniqua, and Keisha. All having children with each other. But it's not most black men. Why? 30% are married, 51% are single and childless, no children. Look up the stats yourself. Look at the U.S. Census Bureau. Look at blackdemographics.com. The list goes on and on and on. Go look it up. Brothers and sisters, I'm trying to help you with mate selection. I'm trying to help you build better families. I'm trying to help you get better unions. So you can have a woman who's not gonna have your seed, right? 51 over 50% divorce rate, 80% done by the woman. Then when you get taking half your assets, then you're on child support, and then you don't get to see your children. How well is the Hebrew family gonna be? Now I'm not talking about a righteous daughter of Zion. They don't worry about that. They don't think about that kind of stuff, right? I know that most of us are not getting a marriage contract. At least again, I know a lot of you guys have one, but some of you not going to get a marriage contract. You're going to just go ahead and get a ketubah or something like that. Cool, fine, that's great. But you got to get it with the right woman. So why? You can maintain your lineage. So you can maintain your family. So you got to make sure you have a woman that don't believe in these modern concepts of marriage. She has to be traditional. And it's up to you. It's up to you, men. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, contemneth shame. But an honest woman will reverence her husband. How many people will reverence her husband? Okay? And then we have 25 and 26. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Okay? She that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honors her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Modern wicked women. Period. Fellas, don't deal with them. Ladies, don't be them. Don't be them. Do not listen to the same, keeping everything clean. Do not listen to these butter muffins and the same mantra that they sing all the time. Don't do it. If you want a strong family, you want a history, you want a strong family, help bring in the next generation of Israel, honor the Most High, you need to take heed to a message like this. You need to listen to a message like this. Because your value is locked in. After a certain age, have some of you notice it's kind of hard to find a man. It's kind of hard to find a righteous man for a number of reasons. Let me give you a couple of reasons. One, because it's not that many righteous men. Period. That's one. Two, because you are on the decline. They would say in the world, you hit the wall, right? You're on a decline. So it's getting a little bit harder and harder. So what you can do to fight back from that is don't be a modern woman. Humble yourself, serve the Most High. Let a righteous man find you and fit you into his frame, fit you into his family, right? Let him figure that out. Don't be like these other modern women. Don't be like, most of them will have pets and bottles of wine and be alone. That's what's going to happen. Pay attention over the next few years. It's a stat right now. 41% women single and alone. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson. It's been a little while. I'm glad you guys hung in with me. I'm pretty sure I lost some people a long time ago. I know that, but it needed to be said. It needed to be said. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there, guys, because there's so much more I want to say, and just email me, okay? Just email me or comment down below, whatever. And I'll talk to you guys on the next letter. I'll see you guys there. I hope somebody's been edified. It's been weighing on me. It was something that needed to be said in order to repair our families and raise the standard, okay? Because we represent the Most High, and we got to do this by the men first representing themselves and be of high caliber Hebrews, right? You got to be high value Hebrews. You got to be righteous. You represent the Most High. So we have to act like it. We represent the Hamashiach, so we got to act like it, right? We have to be leaders first, and then we cultivate families or whatever. And when we do that, okay, cultivate a family. When we do that, we have to know how to process and mate select. Choose a righteous woman. That's what we have to do. We have to choose a righteous woman. So I know there's a lot of hard, uncomfortable truths there. I get it. But it doesn't make it any less true. And then we have our women who, again, you're supposed to be a helpmeet. You're supposed to join yourself and get into the frame of a righteous man of Yah. And help bring up the next generation. Build something for the future. Hope someone's been edified. So until next time, search the scriptures, improve all things. Shalom, Israel.